The Midnight Meat Train came out in 2008, and it's celebrating its 15th anniversary, and it's directed by Ryûhei Kitamura. I apologize if I butchered that name. And it stars Bradley Cooper, Vinnie Jones, Brooke Shields, Leslie Bibb, and Ted Raimi, to name a few actors in this cast. And this is a movie that's been on my radar for a very long time, so I hadn't really watched it. I remember watching the trailer way back in 2008 several times when I went to on my multiple rewatches of The Dark Knight. So being October, I wanted to watch a movie that I hadn't seen before. So Midnight Meat Train was one I wanted to celebrate the anniversary, the 15 years here, and I knew Vinnie Jones was here. He's that intimidating presence, and he looked phenomenal, quite honestly, from the trailer. And Bradley Cooper in here. Like, what the heck is Bradley Cooper doing in a movie called The Midnight Meat Train? I got a report on this one, and let's just dive into the synopsis here. Essentially, Bradley Cooper's character of Leon is a struggling photographer. He goes around the city and takes pictures of random things that are happening in the city to kind of capture not the beauty, but kind of the ugliness of the city as well. He gets introduced to Brooke Shields, who plays an art gallery owner who's looking to have some really gritty and dark imagery on the walls to sell to her clients. So one evening, Bradley Cooper does decide to go out at night, and he sees these guys who may be up to no good go in the subway, kind of do something to this young lady, kind of intimidate her, and he scares those guys away, but takes a photo of this young lady who turns out to be a model who gets on a train and the next morning winds up missing from the same exact train. And that catches Leon off guard, so he kind of goes and does his own investigation because the police are going to think he's crazy, and he tries to do the right thing, but he does his own investigating, and coming to find out there's somebody on the train that is butchering people, and Bradley Cooper's there to take its photo and kind of stop the evil from spreading. Real quick before we get into it, let me know if you guys have seen this movie before, because I want to see who else has seen it and have a good conversation down in the comments section down there. So let's jump into the things I loved. Vinnie Jones, I gotta say, Vinnie Jones right at the top is really awesome. He is intimidating as hell in this movie. He's methodical, he has his suit tie, his tie all right. He has his butcher tool equipment here because he kills them like a butcher, and he butchers these people alive on this train. I dig it. I really dig the intimidating force that is Vinnie Jones. Now, Bradley Cooper is an interesting choice for this movie. But he somehow works. I get him as this character Leon, especially younger Bradley Cooper is able to do things like this. I can't see Bradley Cooper today doing a Midnight Train 2 or whatever. Midnight Meat Train 2 for whatever reason. So take it with your Bradley Cooper goggles on. So he couldn't do it today, but he definitely could do it back in the day. So seeing Bradley Cooper going up against Vinnie Jones, it definitely is a conflict of personalities, styles, and Vinnie Jones is going to kick this guy's ass every day of the week. But it's still really intriguing to watch. Another thing, as a horror fan, there are some really brutal kills that was able to happen on this train. And it's not just brutal in a sense there's a lot of blood and guts. It's over-the-top blood and guts, which is kind of right up my alley. I really dug Midnight Meat Train, and it was such a fun experience to watch this for the very first time, especially not really knowing what I was going into. I just knew it was this kind of a weird title for a movie and had Bradley Cooper and Vinnie Jones. That's really all I walked into it, because I can't remember the trailer, but I do remember seeing it. That makes sense. And the opening of the movie starts off with this big brutal kill, and it's like over the top and crazy, and I was like, okay, this is the movie that we're in. It's kind of bonkers, to be honest with you, but I totally was on board for this, so really dug that. That over-the-top violence is always going to catch my attention, regardless of the quality of the movie. Also, it was cool to see Brooke Shields after such a long time. She doesn't get a whole lot to do. Again, she's just this art director who kind of points Bradley Cooper's character of Leon into certain directions of how she would like the photos to look like. But even when he reveals that there's this killer there, he doesn't reveal it to her. He reveals it to his girlfriend, who is played by Leslie Bibb. And it's one of those actresses that I look very familiar. I can never place her in anything else. So let's click on what she's been in. Oh, yeah, she's the reporter in Iron Man. Okay, I see that. And she was in Iron Man 2, The Babysitter, which I really liked, Tag, and Trick or Treat. That's right, she was in Trick or Treat. I really like that. Okay, well, anyway, Leslie Bibb is pretty awesome in this movie. She doesn't get, again, like Brooke Shields, not a whole lot to do, but she does get sucked up into this world that Bradley Cooper has kind of put her in, because she's in the crosshairs. Because just because Bradley Cooper is investigating somebody doesn't mean that Vinnie Jones can as well. So very fascinating. The movie was really tracking well for me, and then all of a sudden the ending happens, and it is probably one of the most bonkers twists that I have seen in a long time. And I'm not going to spoil it here, but it's one of those endings that's like, wait, the movie completely changed from what I thought it was. My expectations and everything I thought of the movie, how the movie was going to end, and what this guy was actually, his purpose was, completely through everything, changed it up, and really subverted my expectations where this film was going to end up. And it's bonkers, I gotta say that. But I really liked the Midnight Meat Train. It's such a fascinating watch to see this movie, because I don't really hear anybody talking about it, and I'm glad that I was able to find this. This is not streaming anywhere, so I was able to rent it for like $3 on Amazon Prime. So it is definitely a really fun watch, to say the least. I think my biggest takeaway from the movie is like those bonkers kills, especially like the way Ted Raimi does die here, and a bunch of other people on this train. And seeing another human being butchering people, it's quite fascinating. I haven't seen somebody get butchered that well since seeing Saw 10. So anyway, you should check out my review for Saw 10. It's in the link in the comment section. Sorry, plugs. But anyway, what did you guys think of the Midnight Meat Train? Have you guys seen it? Have you even heard of it? And if you have, let me know in the comments section down below. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe here on YouTube. We are definitely growing here. And again, my name is Adam. Don't take the train with a butcher on it. That's my advice for you today. Till next time, I'll see you in the next one.